I hesitated for a heartbeat, then walked faster. Whatever tied me to Wesley was doomed from the start, meant to stay hidden. I intentionally walked a few streets away before finally sending Kevin my location. Soon, a sleek black Rolls-Royce eased to a stop at the curb. The moment the car window rolls down, I caught sight of Kevin seated inside, clad in a cool black suit. His presence was elegant yet unmistakably gentle.
Rosalind?
Nearly 3.5 years had passed since we last stood face to face. Everything I had forced myself to suppress surged upward.
Kevin.
Your ankle. How bad was the sprain?
It's already better. I just twisted a little while walking.
Night was settling in as the car rolled through the gates of the Warren estate. The moment I crossed the threshold, bursts of laughter floated in.
Rosaline, you're back. Sylvia, there's someone I'd like you to be introduced to. This is Rosaline Hayes. Rosaline, this is Kevin's girlfriend, Sylvia Foster. She'll be joining the family soon.
On the first day back home, I learned that the adoptive brother I secretly love was about to get engaged. I studied the woman seated on the sofa. Sylvia had delicate, well-proportioned features. She sat comfortably, but still poised. It's good to finally meet you, Rosaline. Please, just call me Sylvia. Hello, Sylvia. I offered a polite greeting to Jordan and Kevin's father, Stephen Warren.
Since we're all finally together, let's eat.
Plates crowded the table, yet almost none of the dishes were ones I truly liked.
Don't you like sirloin steaks? You've barely touched anything. I didn't know you were coming back until this afternoon, so I didn't have time to arrange your favorites. Just eat a little for now. If you're still hungry later, I'll take you to Aura Restaurant.
He still remembered what I liked, both the dishes and the place I loved most.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, you don't even know what I actually like to eat.
That's not true. Every dish tonight is something you enjoy. Kevin made sure of it first thing this morning. Kevin has a remarkable memory. He and Rosalind grew up together, so of course, he remembers.
I knew what she meant. Whatever closeness I once shared with Kevin now belonged to the past. Once dinner ended, Sylvia excused herself.
When do you plan to go back to Zionbury?
I want to stay in Radina.
Rosalind, Kevin went out of his way to build opportunities for you in Zionbury. And now you just come back like this?
Rosanie, may I ask why you decided to come back?
I offered no reply. The truth was, my return had everything to do with what I had learned about my own origins. Lies had never come easily to me.
If Rosanie wants to stay in Radina, then let her.
Jordan opened her mouth to argue, only for the shrill ring of my phone to slice through the oppressive quiet.
I need to step out for a moment and answer this call.
I stepped into the courtyard.
Come see me tonight.
Didn't we already settle this? We're not supposed to see each other anymore.
Not see each other? Then tell me, how am I supposed to satisfy your desire then?
Wesley, knock it off. I can't deal with you right now. Don't call me again. If there's anything to say, we'll talk after I'm back in Jamboree.
Hang up, and I'll show up at the Warren estate right now, and I'll drag you out in person.
I knew Wesley never made empty threats. Reckless to the core, he was exactly the kind of man who would follow through. What do you want?
Just do what I told you. Come see me tonight.
Not happening. At least not today.
Then tomorrow.
Rosaline, who are you talking to on the phone?
Kevin's voice rang out right next to me, and my heart lurched, the phone nearly slipping from my grip. How long has he been there? How much did he hear? My fingers shook as I pivoted, spotting Kevin striding towards me.
I'm on the phone with Abby.
Abby Elliott, my closest friend, became an instant shield. From the other end of the line came Wesley's low laugh.
You don't usually sound like that with just anyone. Maybe next time, you can talk to me that way. I'd really enjoy it.
It's too late for tonight. We'll see each other tomorrow.
Fine.
Relief washed through me as I ended the call.
Abby already knows I'm back. She asked me to grab a bite with her, but it's late. I'd rather head to your grandmother's place and spend some time with her instead.
Then I'll drive you to her place myself.
That won't be necessary.
I was keenly aware of how things looked and where the lines had to be drawn. Getting too close to Kevin was no longer an option. In the end, at my insistence, a driver working for the Warren family was arranged to take me to Beth's place.
Make time to come by and have dinner with my parents again whenever you can.
All right. I turned my head away at last, and a wave of inexplicable bitterness rose in my chest. But what right did I have to feel this way? From now on, he and I would only drift further apart. Crossing the threshold, I was told Beth had already turned in for the night. Barely past 8 o'clock.
There was no way Beth would have gone to bed this early. She simply didn't want to see me.
I let out a short, self-mocking laugh. Back in my bedroom, I freshened up, but sleep carried me straight into a dream. In my dream, the scene rewound to when I was 16. Sunlight blazed over the basketball court,
where teenage boys ran and laughed. When halftime came, I hurried over with bottles of water for Kevin and the others. I wiped the sweat from Kevin's forehead with a towel.
Kevin, take a look at Rosaline. Sweet, obedient, and beautiful. Just make her your future wife.
Of course. Then you'll have to wait for me, Rosalie. One day, I'll marry you.
The feelings I had carefully tucked away finally broke free. Out of nowhere, the dream lurched sideways. Every image fractured at once, collapsing into nothing, until only boundless darkness remained. Fear surged through my chest, and before I could react, a powerful arm locked around me.
Rosalind, don't even think about running away from me.
With relentless strength, Wesley pinned me in place and thrust into me.
Sweetheart, moan for me.
I snapped awake, my heart slamming wildly against my ribs. Only then did it sink in. It wasn't real, just a dream. After my breathing finally evened out, I rose, washed up, and changed into fresh clothes. When I went downstairs, Beth came into view, calmly eating breakfast. "Good morning, Beth." She didn't even look up. I lowered my head and stood neatly.
Not until the last bite was finished did Beth place her fork down and finally lift her eyes. You returned without saying a word. It seems you've gotten bolder.
"I'm staying in Radina."
Don't be ridiculous. Kevin's about to get engaged. What reason do you have to stay here?
Why does his engagement mean I'm not allowed to come back? Isn't this my home too?
You'd better know your place, Rosanine. If you dare cause another shameful mess like the one 3 years ago, don't blame me for cutting you off and throwing you out.
That incident 3 years ago had hurt me from start to finish. Yet in Beth's version of events, I had somehow become the instigator. Casting one last indifferent glance at me, Beth walked off. I scanned the place which I once lived for 15 years. Every corner felt strangely foreign. So this place had never truly been my home. With my luggage beside me, I planned to leave. Whenever I have a free moment, I'll come back and visit.
I don't need your visits. Take one more step out that door, and don't you dare come back.
No apology crossed my lips, and not a trace of retreat showed on my face. I tugged my suitcase behind me and walked out, never once glancing back. Even Beth didn't want to see me. This place stopped being my home long ago. I've only returned for one reason. The truth. By the time I dragged my suitcase into Vista Residences, Abby was already waiting for me. "I've already set you up. You'll be living right across from me." Shifting Apex Stream's assets back to Radina was never going to be a one-night job. But seriously, are you really not going to tell Kevin that you founded Apex Stream in Zoenberg? Before I could answer, my phone began to ring.
Rosalie.
My grandmother told me you've already moved out of the house?
That's right. The place is way too far out, and the commute back and forth is a hassle, so I decided to move out.
My grandmother can be demanding, but you're still the person she worries about most. When you get the chance, go back and spend some time with her.
All right.
You'll be returning to work at the Warren Group. You'll head into work in 3 days. For the time being, you'll stay by my side as my assistant.
I don't think that's...
You went through a lot those past 3 years abroad, Rosanie. Now that you're back, you don't have to push yourself so hard anymore.
I fell silent, every argument dissolving before it could form. It turned out someone among the Warren family understood just how punishing those 3 years had been for me. That night, Kevin arranged the welcome dinner at one of Radina's most exclusive private clubs. Abby drove me there in a red Porsche 911. By the way, I found the buyer of the emerald necklace, the one that mirrors your pendant, which was sold at an auction not too long ago. Do you honestly think that necklace has something to do with your origins? I honestly don't know. But this is the only lead we have right now. I tugged down my collar and brushed my fingers against the emerald pendant resting against my skin. It had arrived with me as an infant with a single character engraved on the back, small, precise, Morgan. 3 years earlier, an emerald ring with an identical carving style had surfaced. Now the reappearance of the emerald necklace sent a sharp jolt through me. These weren't isolated pieces, but fragments of a complete set. I'll forward you the details of the buyer of the necklace first. After that, we'll keep digging. All right. The Porsche 911 rolled to a smooth stop at the private club's entrance. We had just crossed the threshold when my phone began vibrating. I glanced at the caller ID and hung up. Who was that? You didn't even pick up. Just a spam call. I switched the device to silent. But almost instantly, the screen flared to life again. A single message stared back at me. Turn around. I slid the phone back into my bag and acted as though the message had never appeared. I could feel the intense stare bearing into my back. I knew Wesley was there, like a wolf stalking its prey. Hunted by someone like him, did I stand any chance of escape? Guided by the staff member, we were led towards the private room where Kevin was waiting. Positioned at the head, Kevin sat with his posture relaxed. Off to his right lanched Jacob Hudson, Kevin's childhood friend.
Well, would you look at that? Rosine's here.
Jacob.
3 years away and you just keep getting prettier.
Jacob vacated the seat beside Kevin, and I settled in, Abby taking the chair at my side. Once the dishes were laid out and drinks were poured, voices overlapped, laughter followed, and the tension in the room gradually melted away. But I was still worried. Wesley, what's going on with you? You've looked uneasy and distracted all evening.
Don't worry about it. I barely slept last night. I'm just worn out.
What truly gnawed at me was the fact that Wesley was in the same club. He never cared about boundaries. If we crossed paths here, the situation would spiral fast.
Aren't these your favorite? How comes you haven't eaten much tonight? Just look at how considerate Kevin is, Rosalie. After all these years, he still remembers exactly what you like. Honestly, tonight's menu might as well have been designed around your preferences.
Thanks, Kevin.
During the 3 long years in Zionbury, Wesley loathed stuffed mushrooms. Over time, I had stopped touching them altogether. Kevin still remembered what I used to love, but I'd forgotten it myself. 3 years was long enough to change a person.
When most of the dishes had been cleared away, someone suggested taking the night upstairs. Kevin excused himself to answer a call. Jacob ushered the rest of the group toward the stairs.
He's gonna pick up Sylvia. He'll join us soon. No need to wait for him. Rosalie, anything you feel like singing?
I'll pass. You guys go ahead. If I'd known Sylvia was tagging along, I wouldn't have bothered coming.
Her words had barely faded when the private room door was shoved open. Kevin stepped inside. 2 women trailed behind him. Sylvia, and another face I didn't recognize. Why did Sylvia bring that pathetic idiot with her? Do you know who the woman beside Sylvia is? Of course. That's Kyla Reed, Sylvia's cousin. Mark my words, she never shows up without stirring up trouble.
Well, I'll be damned. Since when did you start going all out with the glamorous look, Sylvia?
You're exaggerating. This is my cousin, Kyla. Rosalie? Kevin mentioned you just got back and don't really have many friends nearby yet. That's why I brought her tonight, to meet you.
Rosalind, this is your welcome dinner tonight. Just relax and have a good time. Just look at Sylvia, parading around like she's running the whole show and pushing you straight to the sidelines. Anyone walking in blind would swear this dinner was thrown just for her. Kevin is the host tonight. Sylvia is his fiancée. Of course, she's supposed to be at the center. This dinner was for me, but all eyes were on the future Mrs. Warren. What was I? Just a pathetic piece of the backdrop.
Rosalind, why are you tucked away over there? We were just chatting about you. Come over here with Abby and sit down.
I might just meet you, Rosalind, but I already like you a lot. Would you mind sitting next to me instead? I drew Abby along with me and took the seat beside Kyla. Rosalind, you're gorgeous. I can't imagine people didn't line up for you. You probably went on plenty of dates while you were in Zionbury, didn't you? I wasn't seeing anyone while I was in Zionbury.
That's surprising.
Is it because your standards are too high?
And how is that any of your business? Why are you digging into her private life?
That's enough. Let's not keep pressing, Rosalind. Girls can be shy about these things. It's perfectly normal.
Then what about letting me introduce you to a few decent guys, Rosaline? If any of them dared treat you wrong, Kevin and I would be the first to make him pay.
In that case, count me in for the list. So what do you think of me?
Back off. Stop hovering around, Rosalind. Don't pretend you don't know exactly what sort of people you are.
You idiot really thought you could joke about Rosanine? Have you completely forgotten how fiercely Kevin looks out for her?
Everyone here cares deeply about Rosanine, and at her age, it's only natural to start thinking about marriage. You feel the same way, don't you, Rosanine? Being pressured about marriage in front of everyone. I smiled and played along. Only I knew my heart was broken.
Well, you do have a point, Sylvia. If Jacob or the others happen to know anyone suitable,
I suppose they could introduce them to me.
Sure. I'll keep an eye out. Don't worry, Rosalie. I wouldn't set you up with just anyone.
Thank you, Jacob. Abby shot me an exasperated look. Sylvia's calculations were almost blatant, yet I still played along. I dropped my gaze. More than anything, I refused to let my own existence disrupt Kevin and Sylvia's relationship. With that in mind, yielding to Sylvia's words felt like the only path left open to me. Pressure tightened in my chest until it became hard to breathe, and I finally rose, murmuring an excuse about the restroom before slipping away. At the sink, I stood rinsing my hands. A sudden vibration against my thigh made me pause. Several missed calls glared back at me. Every single one was from Wesley. Beneath them sat one unread message.
Come down. Second floor. Private room A8.
Another message jumped onto the screen.
Pretending you didn't see it? Want me to come upstairs and get you?
My breath caught. In that instant, regret clenched tight around my heart. I should have ended things with Wesley back in Zionabury. After only a heartbeat of hesitation, I chose to act as if I hadn't seen the messages, and I was slammed against the icy wall. Wesley crushed his mouth to mine, the kiss brutal and relentless. Get off me! Are you out of your mind? I shoved at his chest, but the resistance only provoked him. Time blurred until Wesley finally pulled away. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
Obviously. I'm here for fucking you.
You have absolutely no shame! Without pausing, Wesley swept me up in his arms and carried me straight to the sofa. Trapped in his embrace, my thigh brushed something understakeably intimate.
Stay still, unless you want to find out how far I'll go.
What the hell do you want?
You were supposed to come to my private room. Since you chose not to, I had no choice but to come get you.
With every word Wesley murmured, his breath skimmed the tender curve of my ear. Cut it out, Wesley. I already made this clear. We need to keep our distance for now. We'll talk after I return to Zionbear.
And since when did I ever agree to stay away from you? And didn't you promise me yesterday that you'd come out today? I called you a while earlier. So why didn't you pick up?
I had my phone on silent, so I didn't hear the call.
Is that so? Then when I texted you, you didn't notice that either?
With a deliberate motion, his grip closed around the strand, drawing it tight. A sudden ting made me suck in a breath, my chin tipping up despite myself. That's right. I didn't see it. I can't deal with this right now, Wesley. I have other things to take care of. Get your hands off me. We can talk another time.
And what exactly is so important? Want me to let you go? And you go straight back to Kevin?
Can you stop dragging him into this? Is my welcome dinner with my friends right next door. Do you really want to make a scene so big that everyone ends up knowing about us?
So you're really that terrified of anyone finding out about us? Then tell me, why did you get tangled up with me in the first place?
Don't turn this around on me. You were the one who crossed the line first.
But you didn't push me away, and that was already an answer.
While I was still struggling to shape a calm response, Kyla's voice drifted in from outside. Why has Rosalie been gone so long just to use the restroom, Sylvia? The door to the room we were in hadn't been shut all the way. If either of them glanced over, they would see me perching unmistakably on Wesley's lap. I immediately turned away, pressing myself tightly against Wesley's chest.
What do you think would happen if I made a noise right now? Would they turn around?
Please don't. Just stay quiet.
Please me. Satisfy me, and I'll stay quiet.
Don't push it too far.
Let me guess, Rosalie got embarrassed, made up an excuse about the bathroom, and slipped out the door.
Who does Rosine think she is, anyway? Kevin said it himself.
She's nothing, just the Warren family's adopted stray. Completely worthless. The words hit me like a slap. Was that really how Kevin described me?
Rosanian, I'll count to 3. If you cannot satisfy me, I'll call them in and let them see exactly how you're tangled up with me.
Before he could finish, I suddenly clutched his collar and crushed my lips against his.
Honestly, it makes sense. I heard the Warren family didn't like Rosalie. That's enough. Come with me. I need the rest.
Their voices faded as they walked away. I slowly closed my eyes, my chest tightening with pain and humiliation. I wound my arms around Wesley's neck and deepened the kiss. I wanted to stay entangled with Wesley. I was determined to go against the Warren family. I understood myself too well. I was not a good woman. I never had been. A thick swallow passed through Weslin's throat. His breath quickened as he slid his hand behind my head, immediately taking command. Wherever Wesley's hands landed, heat flickered beneath his touch.
Wesley, don't.
Your moans sound great. So you're not worried about someone overhearing now?
I went rigid, torn between the thrill of getting caught and the overwhelming pleasure that surged inside me. Our stolen moment barely lasted. Footsteps echoed from the hallway, and then the door was shoved open. In a flash, Wesley shifted, moving to shield me completely behind him.
Leave, now.
Forgive me, Mr. Dixon. I just came to tidy up the room.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm leaving right now. Why are you in such a rush? What's wrong with you? Did something happen? Nothing. I just walked in on Mr. Dixon in a private room with a woman.
Are you sure it's Wesley?
Yes, in private room K2.
Still resting in Wesley's arms, I shook uncontrollably, cold sweat clinging to my back. The moment the waitress burst into the room, shock had jolted through me, and I had nearly bolted from Wesley's lap.
She's left. You can relax now.
She didn't see my face, right?
No one saw you. What are you worried about? Whatever happens, I'll take care of it.
After that interruption, all desire drained out of me at once. I knew I couldn't linger any longer. I need to go back.
A shadow passed over Wesley's face.
Rosalind, you're really planning to walk out now?
He leaned in until our faces were close, our bodies pressed together. Regret washed over me as I realized just how reckless I'd been moments before. Please, let me go for now. I'll make it up to you.
And how exactly will you do that?
After a short pause, I leaned in, my lips close to his ear, and whispered something quiet.
Still not enough.
I only managed to escape from my obsessive lover's arms by making a shameful promise. I returned to private room K1.
Rosalind, where were you just now? We checked the restroom, and you weren't there. I took a call after using the restroom.
That's a relief. We were starting to think you'd gotten lost.
I let my eyes settle on Sylvia for a moment. Her cruel phrases echoed in my mind.
My gaze shifted towards Kevin. Did he really see me that way, just as Sylvia had claimed? I moved to Abby's side, shoving every unwanted feeling deep down.
You were gone forever. What happened? I just needed a breath of fresh air. Wasn't feeling well.
Just then, Jacob's voice cut in.
Wesley's been playing the decent guy all these years. He's actually been hiding women on the side and having a great time after all.
He's right next door. Why don't we drop in and say hi? To find out who his mysterious woman is.
Panic wiped my thoughts clean. My heart thundered in my chest.
If you're brave enough to risk Wesley smashing a bottle over your head, you can go greet him right now.
Good point. Never mind.
I forced my voice to sound relaxed. What are you all discussing?
We're talking about Wesley. When Sylvia and I came back from the restroom, we ran into one of a waitress. She mentioned accidentally seeing Wesley with a woman in the suite next door. Rosaline, when you came back, did you see anyone near the room next door? Hear anything?
Every head turned to me.
I didn't see or hear a thing. Seriously? Do you think they put soundproofing here for decoration? And if you're that curious, why not just camp out under Wesley's bed? It was just a question, and I'm not the only one who's curious. Kyla's got a point. We're all dying to know what kind of woman could ever catch Wesley's attention.
Doesn't really mean much. Maybe he just called someone over for a quick hookup.
I dropped my gaze. Wesley and I were indeed friends with benefits. Curiosity started bubbling among some people, already whispering about whether they should sneak a look at the suite next door.
Worries swirled through my mind. What if they actually tried to investigate? If they found out it was me, how would I ever face Kevin? How would I ever face the Warren family?
Rosalind, are you all right?
I'm fine. Just feeling a little worn out.
Honestly, I'm also curious. If Wesley wanted company, he could have it any time. I doubt he'd bother with a random fling. Maybe he actually has someone he's keeping under wraps.
Hey, Rosalind, do you know Wesley personally?
I intentionally steered my gaze away from Abby.
I don't know him.
Since Kevin and Wesley are rivals, I bet Kevin knows Wesley well. What's your take on Wesley?
I really don't know. Kevin never brings Wesley up with me. The only thing he's ever told me is to steer clear of Wesley.
Meanwhile, across the table, the group's curiosity about the woman in Wesley's suite hadn't faded.
Messing around with Wesley's woman is bound to be more exciting. That's enough. Keep yourselves in line. Don't even think about provoking him. Understood?
Kevin, we were just joking. At most, we could discreetly find out who that woman is. No harm in that, right?
Kevin kept his expression perfectly neutral, offering no response. Still, everyone took his silence as a sign they could proceed. A slight hitch caught in my breath. Kevin wasn't stopping them. He was letting them dig into Wesley's woman.